Hello everyone, this is going to be a fairly short video as often, but it's going to be a cool one because it features this. Now I know that's not a very good view, so I've actually went and recorded this and I'm gonna, talk over the recording? It's not annotate, it's when you write over something. I don't know, I'm gonna say some things and hopefully they will be interesting. I'll just move that out of the way. Now, the reason I'm doing this video in the first place, because, it's very rare for me to do more than one a month. It is 31 degrees Celsius in here. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. What is it? 32 off and double or something? I don't know. Someone else can work that out. I don't do those measurements. And because this is the UK, that is very hot for us. And we don't have air conditioners, and I can't even turn on the fan behind me because it would interfere with the mic. So without any further ado, I've been playing with Arduino. Yes. I actually just got a Raspberry Pi Zero, and I've not played with that yet, except if you are really nerdy, I went onto it. I went in the terminal, I opened directory, Python games, or was it something along those lines? And then I saw something called tetromino. I'm like, Python tetromino.py. Yes! And it was Tetris. I was so happy. Distractions, okay. So my robot, that you'll see more of in a minute, and it'll be moving, is made in Arduino. So if I just open the Arduino IDE, now I programmed this a year ago or something. This is like version 3, so this is also my first program I wrote, so it's pretty crap. And to be honest, there's not much here. Almost all the good code is in the motor controller I wrote, but since this is a weird IDE, I can't even remember how to open this, so... Anyway, my motor controller is just a wrapper around someone else's controller. I needed some extra functionality. So all my robot has is some Bluetooth, 2 motors, and basically I can control it from here. So all I do is I send my commands: stop forward, stop backwards, stop left, blah blah blah. I always stop it when I go in a new direction. I'm limiting it to one direction at a time for now. My controller can handle more, but I'm just keeping it simple. So yeah, basically the main program, all it does is it loops over the serial bus, and it reads, and if there is a byte, it checks if it's WSAD, and I really don't know why I've done that. I do that all the time. I always say WASD, but when I'm writing it in code, I end up with WSAD. Normally because I say top, bottom, left, right, instead of whatever it would be. What would it be? Top, left, bottom, right? I don't know. So anyway, very simple Arduino program. Now, I used to control my my robot with a Bluetooth app on my phone, and to be honest, it was a bit shit because it was a command line, and that's not really what I wanted. So the Mark III, the main upgrade, was software. I created this CSharp application. Now, as well as this being my first Arduino app, it's also my first CSharp program. Almost, it's not quite true, but using WPF, Windows Presentation Foundation client, maybe, I've probably got that wrong. That's what we've got, so I'll go ahead and run it. Actually, I don't need to show you the code here, it's simpler to run it. So we start without debugging, and basically it searches for all the COM ports. COM port 1, I don't actually know what it is. Hopefully, I'm not actually going to click it in case it messes anything up here, but I doubt it. Very unlikely. But anyway, you would connect to that, and that opens a page. If it was the robot, it would open a page with 4 arrows, and you could click on the arrow and the robot would go that direction. Of course, that still wasn't ideal, so instead I mapped it to WASD, which you'll see in the video very shortly. So this is just a very simple C# app. There are a few classes, not many really, so once you open the main window, you go to the connection page that we were just looking at. I do apologise for the noise. It's 31 degrees and I should really have closed the windows for the video, but no, it's 31 degrees. I'm not letting it get any hotter in here. It's too crazy, so I'm sorry, you'll have to put up with the noise. Anyway, this is probably programmed terribly because I just wanted a hacky thing to get working. I haven't gone and made it all nice yet, so we have a reference to the main window, we have a reference to our serial port, and the string ports? I don't know what that is. Oh, it'll store the name of the ports we find. That's what it'll do. So blah blah blah, loading spinner reflex, discover devices, connect. So when we click that connect button, it tries to connect. If it succeeds, it creates a new serial port, and we have the name that we clicked on. We have the bit rate, which for the module on my robot, and I suggest you use this if you're going to do this, it's a HC-06 Bluetooth module, and works fine, I quite like it, and this is the setup you need. Baud rate 9600, parity none, I don't know what that is, maybe it'll tell me. Data bits 8, stop bits 1. It works quite well. Anyway, this is a bit technical. For the record, if you're doing a professional project or you're employed, never do something like this. Shit didn't open. Because you'll forget to remove it, and I've actually done that before, I got in trouble for it. We're all gonna die. Brilliant. Anyway, so it connects, hopefully successfully, and then we get to the controller page, which is here. And I wrote this in about a day, so I've not exactly spent much time making it nice. And all this does is it's got a move robot function, which gets triggered from a higher level. I couldn't actually get this form to pick up WASD, so that happens from the main window, and then I call this, which honestly I don't really like the way I'm doing it, because I'm casting my user control to a robot controller, which I think is a bit hacky. But anyway, if you click the arrows, they have event handlers for test up, test down, and it runs it. But I'm talking too much about boring stuff. We want to see the robot. I mean, I'm probably up to minute 7 talking about boring stuff, so there's going to be a very professional, completely unnoticeable cut now, where I go away and I talk over some footage I took on my phone because we're professional. I really need a camera. It's going to happen. Whoosh. So, if we have a look here, we have our 3 AA batteries. The original version had a 9 volt. We have a 5 volt voltage regulator. We have the Arduino Uno board with a green motor controller, and on the left is the Bluetooth module, the HC-06, as I mentioned before. Very nice. It's made of 2 layers of plastic, and the motors, you'll notice, are very close together, and then there's a good reason for that, mostly friction issues. If the wheels are too far apart, it takes more energy to turn, especially with 4 wheels. Now here you can see this is the base plate from the Mark 1 version. It's a lot bigger than the Mark 3, which is what I'm holding now. The reason for shrinking again was originally to try and avoid the turning problems, and also the plastic bent. So my first solution, the Mark 2, was to move to a steel plate. Now that was a nightmare because I was trying to cut it with the wrong hacksaw blade. It took about 2 hours or something ridiculous. But anyway, we want to see this thing moving, and we shall. Excellent, so that is a Bluetooth dongle I'm holding up, and it apparently, I don't know the Bluetooth type, there's type 1, type 2, and I think this one is actually 100 meter range, but the one on the robot is only 10, so it's fine for short range in a room, unless you happen to have a very big room in your house. So we turn it on, we see the lights flash, and the blue light that you can barely see on the top, that's the Bluetooth module waiting for a connection. Now, I know, excellent production quality again, filming laptop screens on a mobile phone. But I did show you the program before, so it's just the program we looked at previously. You can vaguely see it there, COM port 3 and 4. I know COM port 4 is for the robot on my laptop, so I click connect. And then we wait, and you see the arrows, and then the robot light should have stopped flashing, and indeed you have solid blue. So now, I'm just pressing WASD, and it moves! Wait. Now, I should say what I used to have to do, I used to have to press W, enter, and then wait while it moved, and then press another key, enter, to make it stop, so it was uncontrollable. I thought, I need better controls, there's no reason this can't be like a remote control car, so this is the result, the Mark III. Hopefully you like it. And that is my robot, so hopefully, did you spot the second cut? It might have just happened, because from my perspective I went whoosh, like 20 seconds ago, 30? I sat quiet for a while, it makes it easier to spot when I'm editing it in Movie Maker. That's what we're working with here. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that. I kind of need more Arduino projects or robot project ideas now. I'm quite limited, I've got very few tools, so if it requires you to make custom gears or anything, I basically can't. I'm not one of these lucky people with a 3D printer on the shelf and a lathe and a milling machine. So I'm quite limited to what I can build, nothing really precise engineering. Now the phone's ringing. Let's just ignore it. That's distracted me. So yeah, I need Raspberry Pi ideas, I need Arduino ideas. I thought about a quadcopter, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't find it that interesting. I'm not sure what I want to build. I've had some crazy ideas about communicating with sound. Like, in Star Wars, R2-D2 makes all these beeping noises. You could make that into a language. You could send hexadecimal with different tones, I think, but I don't know. That's a bit too much on the programming side. I like actually building things. But anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this, and I will see you later.